Good evening, Titan Nation. How is everybody?
What's up? What's up, everybody? All football fans unite. Welcome in to the Truth League Report, the first True League Report of the season. And I am your host, Chris, aka Blue Enforcer. And we are going to have a very good time on this show today. Definitely going over all of the games that going over some of the top games that happened in the NFL for week one. And we're going to get right into it. I'm going to give you my top 5 games and my top 5 ballers from these games. And, we're definitely going to have a whole lot of fun with that. And definitely try to find out, who y'all thought were some of the better games that happened. And we're gonna get right into that. Definitely make sure y'all leave a comment and in the comments section. Let me know what you thought of Sunday's games, and also definitely make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel to YouTube if you haven't already. And also, if you're on Facebook, definitely go ahead, give a like and give a follow at Chris A. Newell as well. And then if you're on X, go follow me on TNT at TNT Blue Enforcer on X, as well as on Instagram at Titans_N_truth. I'm gonna put some stuff out on there probably by tomorrow. So definitely stay tuned for that. But welcome to the Truth League Report. I put this together maybe at the last minute. I probably shouldn't have, but I was trying to make sure I had a lot of things together for this. So let's just get right on into it. Top 5 games from week one. You got to start in Atlanta. There were Buccaneers, Falcons. Buccaneers end up winning 23-20. Baker Mayfield with a game-winning touchdown pass to rookie wide receiver Emeka Egbuka to win the game. The Buccaneers, a playoff team last year, and they are definitely trying to make it back again this year. And definitely shouts out to the Bucs. Definitely shout out to them and what they're doing out there in Buccaneer land. And that was a very close ball game, but the Buccaneers definitely found a way to get a victory. Number four on the list, Cowboys, Eagles. Very, very good game. Saw that to open the season. Saw that game to open the season. And I mean, it was a hard fought football game. I wanted the Eagles. I wanted the Eagles to win, but I wanted the Cowboys to cover. And they could have just covered. I could have won some money. But instead, the Cowboys squandered that opportunity when a fumble happened. When Miles Sanders fumbles the football and, literally cost us, really cost the Cowboys that game. And it would have been nice. Let's see. Kent Wood saying, who they in the house? Of course. Why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised? He's our resident troll, everybody. And I try, as much as I got love for him, I try not to pay him no attention. But sometimes it's not really much of a choice, and I really don't have any way to skip past it. But shout out to Ken. But that Cowboys-Eagles game was very, very good. It was hard fought. CeeDee Lamb had a nice game, although I think he had a bad drop at one point. I just needed the Cowboys to score one more time. And if they had scored, I would have won a bet because I think the over-under was 40. I want to say it was 48 and a half. All they had to do was get to 49. If they had scored, they were at 44. If they had scored again, scored that touchdown, and not had that fumble, I would have won. Because it wouldn't have mattered if the Cowboys won or lost. It was a 4-point game, and I still would have won my bet because Cowboys would have covered. So I'm kind of mad about that. Number 3, Vikings-Bears. And when I tell you, that was an underrated good ball game last night. Vikings were down at 1 point 17-6 to the Chicago Bears. It looked like everything was going the Bears' way. And then what happens? The defense for the Vikings really started to show up. They, partially blocked the kick. At first, everything that could go wrong for J.J. McCarthy did, but then he stayed in there. He stayed in it, and they took victory from the jaws of defeat. They did. Very, very impressive what they were able to do. So they were able to come back, win the game. I believe the final score was 27-17 Monday night. I'm going to try to see. Might have been 27-24. 27-24. That's what happened. But the Vikings making that comeback, very, very impressive how they were able to make that comeback in that game. McCarthy throwing a big touchdown pass to Justin Jefferson. The defense really picked up the intensity and really made things bad for Caleb Williams. And, Minnesota found themselves a bit last night. So I was very, very impressed. Number 2, Jets-Steelers. And we can harp against Aaron Rodgers all you want, but Aaron Rodgers is a bad man, as Stephen A. would say. 4 TD passes in his debut with the Jets. 4 TD passes in his debut. And they need every one of them. And I'm going to give a shout out to Justin Fields and the Jets, too. The Jets, that was a nip and tuck tight game the whole way. The whole time, it was a very tight ball game up in New York. And, I got to give the Jets credit. The Jets might get a little bit better than people thought. Justin Fields, he hung in there. He hung in there with Aaron Rodgers. And for quite a bit of the game, the Jets were winning that game. But Aaron Rodgers did what Aaron Rodgers did. And, the Steelers got a very nice victory. Shout out to Rashid, Steelers fan. So shout out to him. Welcome into the show again. Definitely make sure, y'all like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Definitely make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and hit that like and hit that like button for me, and also hit that subscribe button if you are new to the channel. I'm gonna be bringing you a Truth League report every week, talking about everything going on around the NFL as best as I can. I don't know all the teams backwards and forwards, but I am learning. So I am gonna continue to learn every team. And I'm going to continue to learn because I'm going to be watching more games. I'm going to be learning more about the other teams and stuff like that. I thought you said Rodriguez with the Jets. I'm not sure what you meant. He said, no, I'm tighten up. I thought he said Rodriguez. No, Rashid, we're just talking about all of the NFL. This is not just about the Tennessee Titans now. This is all about the rest of the NFL. Yeah, I did talk about Rodgers. He's with the Steelers throwing 4 TD passes. So very impressed with Aaron Rodgers in that. But the number one game of the night, of the week, Ravens Bills. Wow. What a game that was. And I was watching bits and pieces of it in the first half, but then the second half, I was really paying attention. And only the 4th time in NFL history a team comes back from being 15 down with under 4 minutes to go and found a way to win. And that's what the Bills did. Got the touchdown pass to Keon Coleman. That was pretty big. Keon Coleman had a nice game, really nice game, and it overshadowed what Derrick Henry did because Derrick Henry had a good game too, but just wasn't enough. And, that's what happened when 2 good teams get together. One team is going to win, one team is going to lose. And, as unfortunate it had to be, as unfortunate that the Bears had to have, it's unfortunate that that the Ravens had to lose, but it was a heck of a ball game. It was a really, really good ball game, back and forth and everything. And, it overshadowed, like I said, Derrick Henry's great night that he had. I got to admit, as a Titans fan, I made a big mistake. I thought the team would be better off without Derrick Henry. Looks like I was wrong. Racing says, so did the Vikings last night. Yep. Vikings were very, very impressive. I was very impressed with the Minnesota Vikings last night because I thought the Bears was just going to run away with it, but they did not. But 41-40, Bills get the win with a game-winning field goal by Matt Prater as time ran out. All I can say is, wow. It was a good week 1. And now going into my top 5 ballers, and I'm not going to really go in any specific order. Of course, I will start with the aforementioned Ravens. Probably my number 1 player is that man, Derrick Henry. 18 carries, 169 yards, 2 touchdowns, running, although he had a very bad fumble that resulted in a score for the Bears. I'm not going to overshadow Josh Allen having 394 yards and 2 TDs. There's a lot of guys in that game that could deserve some love with that. But I got to give it to Derrick Henry. Of course, I love him as a Titans fan. The next, I got to go with J.J. McCarthy, who hung in there. Yeah, he only had 13 of 20, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick 6. But he hung in there, and they got points exactly when they needed to. But I also got to add in there that Viking defense. That Viking defense stymied Caleb Williams and that Bears offense at the end. So that was a very good performance by that Viking defense, and they were able to help J.J. McCarthy come back from behind to beat the Chicago Bears. My third baller, I gotta give it to Danny Dimes. Daniel Jones, 22 of 29, 272 and a touchdown. Probably one of the best games of his career, just blowing out the Miami Dolphins 33-8. And it was mostly a shutout until the very end when the Dolphins got probably a trash garbage play touchdown. And, got to give it to him. Daniel Jones is impressive. This Colt team may not be as bad as you think, but we're going to definitely find out. Number 2, I got to go with another one. Number 4, my fourth baller, Keon Coleman. Keon Coleman had some big catches late in that game, and he ended up with 8 catches, 112 yards, and that game-winning touchdown that he caught. One of the game-winning touchdowns, because he really came back and came through. Because I think when Dave Jones threw it, the ball was tipped, and he was just in the right place at the right time. And so, big shout out to Keon Coleman. As TD would say, he's a dog. He is a dog. Now, Zay Flowers on the other side had a great game too, but excuse me on that, but Keon Coleman is that dude. He's a dog. Dude at it from Florida State. And last but not least, number one baller has to be that bad man, Aaron Rodgers. 244 yards, 4 TD passes. One of them was the former Memphis Tiger, Calvin Austin III. So glad they got it to him and everything. But Aaron Rodgers showing there is no rust in his game. And so Steelers coming back. Now the Steelers may not like them, but they are a team that I will always respect. I will always respect the Pittsburgh Steelers because that is a class organization. That is an organization that a lot of people should inspire to want to be. So I was very impressed with that game as a whole, and that, I mean, it was a great game on both sides. It was a great game on both sides. I mean, Jets have nothing to hang their heads about. They played a hell of a game, and they were winning again. But again, the Steelers found a way to come back from behind to get that victory. So that is my top 5 games and ballers. Of course, we did find out that George Kittle out of San Francisco is going to miss multiple weeks. Brock Purdy is a little bit iffy for Sunday as well. In Titanland, we got to worry about J.C. Latham. So the 49ers got some injuries. Got to go back to the Ravens because this is the 4th straight year that they lost a game where they had a double-digit lead. 4 straight years that has happened. That they had a double-digit lead and they lost. So they better do some work and figure that out. Excuse me, y'all. I'm sorry. A little tired. But that's gonna really just about do it for today's edition of Truth League Report. Again, all football fans are welcome on this channel. Make sure y'all spread this out to everybody. And if you're here, go ahead and hit that like button on your way out. Please, everybody, do that. That helps with the algorithm, and that helps draw more people in. So, Kent, make sure you hit that subscribe, hit that like button. Rashid, do the same thing for me if you don't mind. Definitely go ahead and hit that button for me. And of course, again, if you're on Facebook, go ahead and hit that like and go ahead and follow at Chris A. Newell. And just let me know that you watch the Truth League Report. And in that way, I'll add you on. But everybody, my name is Blue Enforcer, a.k.a. The Truth. I thank y'all for tuning in to the Truth League Report. We will do this again next week as we get ready for week 2. If there's any breaking news or anything like that, I will definitely make sure I bring it to you. Definitely try my best to get better with all the other NFL teams, so it's a work in progress. Yes, the Bengals did win. Shout out to them. They won by 1. Shout out to the Commanders as well. Crystal, I'm not gonna forget about you as they beat the New York Giants. So everybody make sure y'all stay tuned for future episodes to come. And I thank y'all for tuning into TNT tonight. I'm your man, Chris, aka Blue Enforcer, aka The Truth. And y'all have a very good rest of your Tuesday. And I'm gonna always tell everybody, tighten up. That's all we know how to do. Good night, y'all.